Did you miss me? It's been a while because I was supposed to be doing this challenge, which is a 28-day CTA challenge, call to alignment, and essentially it is becoming aligned by waking up, getting off autopilot. And I felt called to do this 28-day live for multiple reasons. The first one is to stop hoarding all of this information that God has allowed me to process. He has allowed me to deal with and see within myself and to share it with my fellow trust fund baby siblings. And because we are in a day and age where we absolutely have to get off autopilot. And I shared in another video, when we live on autopilot, because I know people are like, why we got to stop living on autopilot? What does that even mean, Samela? Let me tell you, I'm happy that you asked. So, living on autopilot feels like predictability, knowing what you're doing, when you're doing it, how you're doing it, no new changes, no new anything in your routine, in your lifestyle, in your dreams, goals, and visions. You only do what you know how to do because that's what you know how to do. And that's kind of what autopilot is. Why do we need to come off autopilot in 2026? One of the top reasons why is because the world is changing. If you look around you, everything looks different. We are living in a different world than when our grandparents came up, when our parents came up, when we came up, right? And so if we continue to live the way that we lived when all of those grandparents, parents, us came up, we're going to be left behind. And because I believe that we are staring at the greatest wealth transfer in life, on so many levels, because God is rising up blueprints. He is waking us up, telling us it's time to do something else, and unlocking possibilities like never before. And this is why I started RIU, which is Rich Yanti University, the School of Kingdom Intelligence. But more importantly, Kingdom intelligence is the ability to sit in God's presence long enough so that you can start showing up and living and accessing the life based on how He sees you. Hey, welcome to the live. Yo. So, I did a video, a short clip on how culture, hustle culture, culture in general, has been lying to us, right? They've been telling us that if we continue to do this and hurry up and buy and do this and do this and do this, we're going to somehow get wealth. And it's a lie. But I made the video and I said, so you mean to tell me we rather work our fingers to the bone, be exhausted, be burnt out, be angry, live life on edge our entire life, then instead of paying for our life with faith and obedience? And I'm like, I don't want to live like that anymore. And I invited other people. I was like, hi. I invited other people to say, let's stop living like that. Well, I got a comment under that post, and someone said, this is great, but how do we do this? And so that's what we're going to talk about today on this live. How to unlock your trust fund baby best life kingdom style, right? So anything I talk about and anything I suggest is absolutely with God plan in mind, right? So what we're going to talk about is how culture, hustle culture versus holy culture, and how you absolutely have to find and understand your identity before you can unlock your inheritance. And your inheritance is this trust fund baby lifestyle. I tell people all the time, I lived in Miami for 11 years. And at one point, God was like, get up, we're moving to New York. And I was like, I don't want to. I'm living in the sun. I thought I was living my best life. But really, I was complacent and didn't know it. And so when he tapped me on my shoulder and said, get up, we're leaving, I thought, okay, cool. My friends was like, New York is so expensive. And I said, God knows how expensive it is. Why should I be concerned about that? He can handle the bill just like that, right? And when I tell you, he has handled the bill since I've been in New York for a year and a half, I can't make this up. And so I feel like I cracked the code of sorts. And really, I feel like other people have cracked the code, but they just not telling us what they cracked. And what they cracked is their identity. Because once you realize who you are as a heir, you were born an heir. Before you were born in your mother's womb, God knew you. He had already said that you were going to be great. It's the world and the identity that we have to get rid of in order for us to unlock our inheritance, right? Thank you. Yeah, there's so much more to the testimony that I haven't even touched. And sometimes when I hear me think about how God has shown up for me, I'm like, is this my real life? Have I really lived this life? Like, and why nobody told me that alignment was the goal? Nobody ever I'm about to be 40 years old. I know I don't look like it, but that's neither here nor there. But nobody has ever told me you are supposed to seek alignment. Alignment is the goal. I've never heard that a day in my life. But now that I am in alignment, I am like, hold up. I need other people. Come over here. Come over here. And this is why this series, CTA, Call to Alignment, I am going live every day, Monday through Friday, all February, because if I can do it, you can do it. And if we can do it, they can do it. And if they can do it, we can all be great together. And so that's what type of time I'm on. Let's be great together, right? So here we go. Your identity. The reason why our identity is the first start to unlock our inheritance is because if you don't believe that you have something inside of you valuable enough to protect, to build, to grow, to share, to unlock, to monetize, you're not even going to be able to move with your head held high, and you're going to accept, thank you for the love, you're going to accept whatever someone else tells you. And so the hustle culture literally has people thinking, I got to hurry up and do it before somebody else gonna get it. They're gonna take it from me. There's not enough in the world for me to get it, or I just have to live this life because it was the hand that I was dealt. And we all know that we've done this, right? Whether we've earned it, meaning we show up like this, whether our parents taught it to us. And again, we are living in a different time than our parents. Our parents did have to just simply survive. I'm not interested in surviving. I want to thrive. And anybody around me already know we're going to thrive. But we all have to put in, roll up our sleeves and do the work. But before we can even do the work, we got to realize, wait a minute. Somebody like me from the inner city of Chicago can start a tech company. Somebody like me who was in DCFS can be a founder, can move to different places, can get a place in New York, can do these things, right? We have to do that. But in order for us to fix our identity, this is the part that people do not tell us about. We have to have a relationship with God. Because God, when He created you, you were a winner. You were an heir. You had access to everything. Abundance was already yours. And so, in His perfect will for our life, abundance is already yours. So now the question is, if abundance is already mine, when prior to me even getting to this earth, why don't I have it yet? What's going on? Who's stopping me from getting this abundance? Like, where is my abundance at? Why don't I know how to access it? And so then you start asking, wait, God, what am I missing? Because if you're telling me, if your word in the Bible tells me that I have access to any and everything, that I have dominion over any and everything, the next question is, why can't I go and get it? And the truth is, God is not going to give you your inheritance so that you can waste it, so that you can crush under pressure, so that you can look like a scammer. And I'll break down that scammer part because most of the time people think scammer as in like you woke up and you decided to crack cards or something. No, that's not what I'm talking about. When I say that he has to make sure that you're the person to carry this before he can give you your inheritance, that comes from a place of integrity, right? That comes from a place of, will you do the right thing when nobody's watching? Will you try to take a shortcut? Because if you try to take a shortcut and then somebody catch you taking a shortcut, they're going to think you're scamming. You see what I mean? Like, integrity has to be part of who you are as a person, so that when God does give you your inheritance, he's not worried about if you're going to fumble it, if you're going to blow it at the club, if you're going to oversleep and say, well, I don't feel like doing it no more because you got the money in your bank account. And so we have to address that culture makes you feel like there's not enough so that they can keep you on this hamster wheel. But as long as you on this hamster wheel, you are like looking at yourself in the mirror, but the mirror is cracked. It's literally a cracked mirror, and it is your self perception is distorted, whether it's because of the trauma, whether it's because of the shame. Shame is a big one. Shame will have you in a chokehold long enough so that you don't tell your story. I slept on air mattresses and sofas for 183 days after he told me we leave in Miami to come to New York. It wasn't just like a get on a flight from Miami, land in New York. That was not the case. I thought it was going to be, though. That was not the case. I had to be rerouted back to Chicago, and we had several deaths in our family. And I was sleeping on my sister's air mattress in her sofa. I was literally going back and forth 183 days, right? And in that time, I'm like, did I hear him correctly? Like, what you, God, I thought we was like locked in. I thought you told me let's go to New York. What happened? Well, he had to allow Samela to deal with the hurt that she was carrying, that she didn't even know was in her. He had to allow me to deal with my insecurities. He had to allow me to deal with the pain of what I didn't know. Is all planned. Every single thing is planned, but we don't like to talk about his plan when it hurts us or when we feel like we're not prospering. We only want to say it's all planned when it's winning and money in the bank and life is good and sun is shining. But the parts of the plan that requires you to sleep on an air mattress or a sofa for 183 days is also part of his plan. But that is an opportunity. That's an invitation to dig deeper in a relationship with God. And only once I was just like, God, I don't even know why you got me in Chicago. You know, if it was up to me, if you would have told me about Chicago, I would have never left Miami. But I'm happy that he didn't tell me because, I'm hard headed in that way. But because he didn't tell me, and because I had already came into agreement, I was like, I don't know why you have me here, but I'm going to do what you need me to do. Just show me what you're trying to show me. Make it clear so that I don't fumble. I don't misinterpret. I don't get in my feelings. I don't start feeling like I'm a victim. In the moment that I allow him to lead, I promise you, this is how I pay for my lifestyle because of obedience. And obedience is feeling like, I wrote this little sticky note. Obedience feels like trusting, trembling, and taking steps toward the goal, knowing the way will be made for you because it's all in his plan. And so when we come up against those ideologies of our traumas. Why do I feel this way? Why am I really doing these things? Is it because my family told me to do it? And then you start saying, well, why did my family tell me to do it? And you realize they had to do it that way because that's all they had at their resource, all the resources that they had, or all the knowledge that they had. And so then now you start realizing, wait, I actually have a choice here. I don't have to hoard my ideas. I don't have to live in a there's not enough, so let me hurry up and go get it. Let me work 6 jobs to try to get this because it's hard out here. No, it starts in the mind. It is hard out here, but it's hard if you're broke. It's hard if you're rich. It's hard if you're scared. It's hard if you're brave. It's hard in general, simply because of the world that we live in. But if it was easy, everybody would do it. Sit with that. If it was easy, everybody would do it. But what if, by chance, you were the person who was supposed to be the example to show other people that it's possible? You are the breakout. You are the generation curse breaker. You are the narrative teller. Your story that no longer has you in shame breaks the shame chokehold of someone else while also healing you. Because when you tell your story, it's victory. Because think about it, people only talk about something that they overcame, and because you overcame it, you're the victor. You won. You won. So a win is a win. I don't care if I won by 0.12 points or 27 points. A win is a win, baby. And I'm taking all my wins to the bank. And so when you start hoarding, stop hoarding your resources and start sharing them, sharing your story, sharing your scars. When you learn to share your scars, I promise you it heals people. This is why um, social media does so well, right? Because when you hear somebody else be brave enough to talk about what they went through and you're like still going through it, or you still shame still got you in a chokehold, you resonate with that person because I can't wait till I'm that free. I can't wait till I could talk about it like that. I can't wait till I can stop sitting on ideas. Oh my God, I can't believe they wrote the book, they did the business, they did this, they won that Grammy. One of the reasons why Bad Bunny is so amazing and killing it is because people wish that they were that brave to stand on business like he's standing on business. But it just takes one person to stand on business, and then the other people are like, wait a minute, I can do that as well. Wait a minute, I don't have to hustle and work 60 jobs just to live in New York. Wait, I don't have to. And what alignment feels like is in the flow. Being in alignment feels like what is mine will never pass me by. What is not mine, please pass me by. Because I already know that I'm going to win with or without. I don't have to perform for provision. I don't have to show people, look at me, because it's not about them. It's not, I'm not doing things to get clout per se, or to get approval, or to make people see me, because my relationship with God, he already told me he see me, because he showed me what to do. Think about it. When you build a relationship with somebody, like an actual person who you can touch, feel, hug, when you build a relationship with them, the reason why it becomes stronger is because it's time invested, energy invested. You care about their well-being, they care about your well-being. You guys begin to co-create, you guys begin to work in tandem. And so that is the same exact thing that God wants for us. Oftentimes people think that if we submit our plans at God's feet, that he's going to somehow toss it and throw it in the garbage. No. And then it's this lie about if you do it the kingdom way, you're going to be broke. That is the biggest lie that they've told us since lies was a thing. Because God speaks about abundance. God speaks about never ending. a land of milk and honey. And I have been in New York for a year and a half, had no idea what that I was even after alignment. I just knew I wanted to be obedient. I just knew I wanted to walk in faith. And I just knew that I've tried it my way and that did not work. So I'm like, God, let me try it your way. Let me try it your way. And I promise you, he ain't missed yet. He ain't missed. Even when I feel like, God, why are we doing this? Instead of me getting upset, angry, or like rerouting, I'm like, God, I don't know why we're doing this. And you don't even have to tell me why we're doing this. Could you just give me the strength to do it? Could you just show me how to get it done? And so, in order to move from hustle culture, hurry up and buy, work your fingers to the bone, gotta go chase it, to holy hustle, which is essentially alignment, you must be willing to fix the way that you see yourself. Understand that you were born for a reason. You're not random. You didn't just so happen to land here. You're not useless, but you do have to be willing, ready, willing, able, and ready, right? Willing is, I don't know what I don't know, but I know you know what I don't know, God. And so, can you show me? Able is, I'm going to figure it out. I'm not going to let anything get in my way. I'm not, if I have to go under it, through it, under it, around it, fight it, I'm going. And the more you put points on the board in the battlefield of your mind, of what you're up against, of the obstacle, the circumstance, and the gap between your calling and the circumstance begins to get shorter and shorter and shorter. The sun begins to be brighter and brighter and brighter, not because only you got better, but because you begin to trust God more. And that's what God really wants for us, to trust Him as we navigate the gap between our calling and our circumstances. He is not, I'm reading your thoughts. Yes. Because a lot of us, think about this. A lot of us are like, wait, something ain't right. I'm not going to keep living like this. What book are they reading that I didn't read? And it's probably the Bible. It's probably the Bible, really, though, because there's principles in the Bible. There's best practices in the Bible. There's His word in the Bible. There's, I made something for you. I have abundance for you in the Bible. And so now that we start understanding, wait a minute, so I can be an heir and I can live my best life and I can create the life of my dreams. I just have to discover, because you don't make up your purpose. You have to discover it, and it's revealed through relationship. You see, I keep going back to relationship. A relationship with yourself. You have to love you enough to realize, I don't have to take this. I'm not about to keep shaking this cup. I'm not about to keep begging for this life. I'm not about to keep lying to myself, saying, I'm gonna do better the next week. I ain't about to be like this next year. When the time come, I'm gonna be this person. I'm gonna start, producing this book or this music or this show next year. You're gonna stop lying to yourself, because you're gonna be willing to go through it, go over it, go under it, fight it, whatever you need to do. And really, fear is the way, because if you're scared of it, that's actually how you know you need to attack it head on. And I'm not saying be reckless, I am saying be discerning, but don't be scared. Because if God be for you, who can be against you? And if you are saying that you are a trust fund baby, a kingdom trust fund baby, and you are doing what God tell you to do because you're in a relationship with Him and you hear what He's saying and He's telling you what to do and you're actually listening, even if you don't make the right decision, He does not abandon you like the people, we do people, people do us, people do people. He still guides you. God is not a gotcha God. Gotcha. He don't move like that. He is trying to allow you to take steps while trembling, but trusting Him. Remember what I said? Obedience look like trusting, trembling, and taking steps toward your goals, toward what he called you to, because he has uniquely designed the path. He has uniquely put people in the position. He has uniquely set you up for success, but you have to be willing to rid the old ways that you see yourself. And what I started doing was matching God's energy, right? Like, so, God, if you say I can do this, because I don't believe I could do it. I ain't know I could do nothing like this. I didn't even want to do nothing like this. I didn't even know something like this was possible. But if you say I can do it, I'm going to do it. And we'll just see what happens. But you told me to do it, so you must know something about me that I don't know about me. And so once I started matching God's energy and operating from God's energy, suddenly things started shifting. Suddenly things started working out. Suddenly I started trusting me more. And of course, you have to pattern match, right? Like you have to say, well, every time I'm about to do this, this happens. And once you can recognize that, you can see yourself, you can see what's happening, you can see how to think things through, and then you pray about it and move when he say move immediately, not when you feel like it, because delayed disobedience is still disobedience. You're trying to navigate it because had I, Samela, not got up and moved to New York in this year and a half that I've been in New York, there is, I would say now, there's like tens to hundreds of people lives that my work is touching directly, as in like the person, or indirectly, as in I'm touching the person and then the person is changing. But really, my assignment is even greater, hundreds to thousands. Had I, one person, said no because I'm scared, or because I'm comfortable, or because I want to stay in Miami and don't want to deal with the winter, hundreds of people would have been waiting on me to show up. So, what I'm really saying is the calling that he has on our lives is so grand and so beautiful. And when I say grand, grand doesn't mean massive, it means impactful. It doesn't mean everybody is doing the same thing. No, it means that what he has you doing is so important to the kingdom that he has you doing it. He called you to uniquely do it. And so when you are in relationship with him, you begin to understand who you are. When you begin to understand who you are, you begin to move like you know who you are. When you begin to move like you know who you are, the world shifts around you because you know who you are. It's not up for question. My identity is not up for question because I really don't care if you like me or not. I really don't care if you like me or not. I want to navigate how to build my relationship, and I'm trying to find out if I should read the word more and how. Yes. So I would start just simply, I sit with my thoughts. Like reading the Bible 1,000%, 1,000%. But reading the Bible came after my relationship with him because I learned to discern him. I learned to say, wait, God, is this you or is this my trauma? Is this you? And then fasting, when I tell you that fasting has expedited my awareness because I turn off the distractions and turn up the discernment. Literally, that's what fasting does. It turns down the distractions, social media, noise, outside opinions, yourself, hunger. You begin to become more disciplined. And in that discipline, you sit with your thoughts and you say, God, what you want from me? What are you trying to tell me? And he will drop a scripture in your heart. He's dropped scriptures in my dreams. He's sent people to send me messages. He's told me things when I'm just sitting with him. And then the hunger, and I prayed for the hunger to read the Bible. I prayed to want to desire to be in relationship with him. And it naturally just started to grow and naturally just started to grow. And then now I'm just like, God, if you ain't going, I don't want to be there. I really just don't want to be there. I really don't want nothing for me that you don't want for me. But it started because I made time for him. It's like if you're dating and the person say you don't make quality time for me. It's like that. So start with quality time. I will tell you to start with quality time. And that's the thing. Hustle culture makes you go, 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 go. And now you say, I can't go to church because I got to work these 6 jobs. I don't have time to read my Bible because I work these 6 jobs. I can't do this because I don't have time. And that is the trick of hustle culture, because it will make you be so busy that you don't even take care of you. Hustle culture is designed to make you so busy that you don't even take care of yourself. You don't even realize you're going in circles and you're on a hamster wheel. You don't realize you're living a repetitive life and you've been living the same life for the last 20 years because you are chasing something. When you're in alignment, you are attracting, you are receiving, but you can't receive something that you are not willing to give to yourself. So if you are not willing to give yourself rest, how do you believe that a vacation is something that you're going to take? Because you don't even know how to rest at home on your own sofa because you feel like you got to do something. The music got to be on, the TV got to be on, the noise got to be on. Rest, relax. And in that resting and relaxing, you can hear your own thoughts. You can hear God speak to you. You can hear instructions. And then in those instructions, things become clearer. And as things become clearer, you're like, I cannot believe this was in my face the whole time and I've been missing it. Because you were chasing. You thought that you had to go get it. And God said, I will send it to you if you be still and trust me. And that's what type of time he's been on. He's been sending it to me because I've learned to sit and trust him. I've been a full-time entrepreneur for 7 years. I cannot explain how I've been paying for my lifestyle. I really cannot. But he's been sending things like he sent, and it's not always about money. So I want to be very clear. But money is how people nervous system can be calm, how you can breathe. But there's been times I'm just like, God, I don't know how you're gonna pay this rent. But I trust that you're gonna do it. And then I keep doing what he told me to do. And the whole time the email been sent in my account that the rent was paid. Like there it's I'm not exaggerating at all. But this is only because I built a relationship with him. I decided I have no idea what you got going on and I don't need to know. I just need to be able to walk with you, whether I'm scared, whether I'm confused, whether I'm unsure. You know how I'm feeling. Help me through it. I don't ask him to end the situation. I ask him to give me the strength to endure the situation. And so alignment is just beautiful. It's underrated. And this is how I pay for my lifestyle. And so the question that I will leave to you and help you understand, yes, his provision, he's faithful, God is faithful, and he has come. My friends tell me all the time, he come through for you on the 12th hour. But me and his faith, we got to that point where I can sit or move or do whatever as if it's already done. And oftentimes I forget that something is pending, and then when I remember, I'm like, oh, this is pending. Boom, it's done. At the 12th hour. At the 12th hour. So much so that because I'm so open with how I have learned to do these things, my friends have told me, seeing how God show up for you, I want to get me more God. And I'm like, this is perfect because he doesn't have any stepkids. All of us have the same level of access to him if we put in the time, build the relationship. And so wealth and money only magnifies you and who you are. So getting rich is not going to change how you produce if you're not producing it right now. It's just going to expose you. That's it. So the reason why you have to become this person that you need to be before you unlock your inheritance is because when God gives it to you, he ain't giving it to you just so you can be great. He giving it to you so you can bless his kids. He's giving it to you so that you can do his will on earth, his kingdom will, hence alignment. You have to do it his way. But he birthed you for a reason. You are uniquely positioned and called to do a certain thing that is going to move the kingdom forward. I believe in you, he believes in you, and we have to do it. And so, what I'm going to leave you with is, so to answer the question in a sentence, because the question that she asked me was essentially, how do I unlock my inheritance? And you unlock your inheritance to live like a trust fund baby when you begin to obey God. Obedience is God's love language, but obedience is moving swiftly, taking action, and moving off of faith, regardless of the time, regardless of the fear, and regardless of your resources, because um, God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called. So you don't have to have it all together. He knew that when he called you, clearly. Because if you could do it by yourself, this is how you know if you're operating in your calling. If you could do it by yourself, you're not operating in your calling. Because your calling is uniquely tied to kingdom, which is co-creation. So you have to, what he needs you to do requires him in order for you to do it. And if you could do it by yourself, that is not your calling, babe. You may be talented at it. You may be getting paid for it. You may be able to live a good life from it, but that is not your calling, because anything that he calls you to is for the kingdom. And that in itself is just a weight, an obligation, a responsibility. But it's possible when you co-create with him. And anytime life begins to feel heavy, you feel weighed down, you feel unsure, it's probably because you started letting distance come in between you and his relationship. Alignment is light. Alignment is being able to do it, knowing that he's carrying the bulk of the work. He's carrying you and he's guiding you. That's what alignment feels like. That's why you can float in alignment. That's why things come to you, because when you hear him, he can say, turn right. And when you're turning right, what you need is right there. He could say, stop right there. You stop right there. And guess what? A car goes by. Right? Like, this is why obedience matters. Because when you can learn to hear his voice and discern what he's telling you to do, you can then begin to unlock it. A trust fund baby in the natural does not get their inheritance if they don't do what the parent tell them to do. If they don't do these things, you must go to college, you must do this, you must do this, you got to access this, you got to do this, right? It's the same difference here. In order to unlock your inheritance, you have to be willing to be in a intimate relationship with God. And in that intimate relationship with God, you obey him when he tells you to do something. And obedience feels and looks like trusting, trembling, and taking steps toward where he's sending you to, knowing that his will is perfect, his timing is perfect, and he can use anything in this entire earth to serve his will if you're willing to be obedient. And so this is how I pay for my lifestyle. This is how I live like a trust fund baby. This is how I'm no longer in the hustle culture. This is how I live from alignment because I obey. If God say do it, I do it. If he say don't do it, I stay away. And because I learned to do this, he allows you to make decisions, but your decisions are usually when you can discern, when you can make. Kids learn how to walk after the parents start releasing the hands. After you learn how to ride a bike, when the parents start releasing the hands. So you have free will to do the right thing, the wrong thing, the maybe thing. But if your heart is in the right place, he will cover you. He's always covering you, actually. So that's another conversation. My question that I'm going to leave to you guys is, am I chasing assets, i.e., validation from other people, or am I healing and moving as an heir? Am I chasing assets and validation from other people, or am I moving like an heir? Because an heir knows that being responsible for something is costly, but an heir know that that cost is worth the return on investment. So I pray that this has been helpful. I went on much longer than I had imagined, but I had to get this word about my system. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about, ooh, that's a good topic, the unseen baggage of spiritual poverty. That's kind of heavy. This like survival intelligence, spiritual intelligence. I go live every day at 4:30. I was a little late today. We're gonna make it 4:30. I go live every day at 4:30, Monday through Friday, simply because there are things that he's shown me, told me, gave me, gifted me, and if I can just release it and unload the clip, this is me being obedient, and whoever gets it, and be great because he believes in you, and it's worth it. It's worth it. Bye.